Meanwhile, a senior US general is calling for an investigation into allegations that American weapons are falling into the hands of al-Qaeda in Yemen. The head of Central Command, General Joseph Votel, raised the concerns to a Senate committee. That was after a CNN investigation which accuses Saudi Arabia and the UAE of transferring weapons to armed groups in Yemen.
We have not authorized Saudi Arabia or the Emirates to retransfer any of this equipment to other parties on the ground in Yemen. And as you are well aware, when we do provide equipment, whether it comes government to government or commercially provided, that the recipients do have to agree to certain stipulations on the use of those.
With us on Skype now, Pieter Wezeman, who is the senior researcher at SIPRI, that is the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. It's nice to see you, Pieter. We often talk to you when your global arms report comes out every year. With the research you do for that, is this situation of arms falling into the hands of al-Qaeda, is that something you've been noticing already?
Well, I'm not very surprised that this comes out now. It is known already much longer that the UAE and Saudi Arabia have been supplying weapons to the different militias in Yemen and, for that matter, also in Syria and in Libya. So that we now find very clear evidence that weapons also end up in the hands of other more extreme militias, including those related to al-Qaeda, is not surprising at all. The surprising thing is more that the United States Department of Defense only now seems to make an issue of that.
It's interesting because it almost takes away some of the sides, if you like, in the war in Yemen, particularly because if American weapons are being used by the Saudis and the UAE and al-Qaeda and rebel groups, I mean, as I say, it takes away the who's on whose side. Is there any way to stop this sort of thing happening, or is it just coming down to what humans decide to do?
I think if you supply weapons to militias groups, you should assume that they're going to lose some or even many of them. These militia groups are not organized and trained in the same way as the more professional armies of the United States itself. And of course, we have to remember that also the United States at times has lost weapons itself already. So if you go further down the kind of the hierarchy, you could say, the risk that you're actually going to lose those weapons to your real opponents is very significant.
Okay, but taking a step back from what's happening on the battlefield, the sales of these arms, very unlikely to change, isn't it? I mean, when that comes down to it, this is what we discuss with your annual report. It's just business, isn't it, selling arms?
Yeah. Yes, I don't think that the United States is going to punish the UAE or Saudi Arabia by significantly restricting arms sales to these two major recipients of United States weapons. I mean, Saudi Arabia accounts for a very significant share of US arms exports, and also the UAE. They belong to the most important, if the recipients of US arms, and there are significant sums of money involved, and of course both are also very important allies which the United States does not want to lose.
Pieter Wezeman from SIPRI, it's always good talking to you. Thank you.